I'm Caitlin Ellis. Today I have a very special guest. How are you doing?
Doing very good, Caitlin. Thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome. I want to thank you so much for taking the time and joining us today. Can you please tell our audience your name and a little bit about you?
Yes, my name is Kevin Dredge, and a little bit about me is I'm 52 years old, and I have two kids. And I have a passion and a desire to make things a little bit better in our Corona encounters and our Corona season. There's a new strain that they just detected today, and that just drives me to the passion. It comes out on ways that we can get a little bit more prepared.
And just a moment ago, before we started, you told me you're a mental health advocate, as well as you were taking classes at Access Sacramento before everything shut down. Can you please tell us next what inspired you to get into both of those industries?
Well, it's really a tough subject when we just say the word mental health or a mental health expert. And that's what happened is I was going through life with my children and we were doing just fine. And we just got into ways to improve. And with the school, we went on a real great brigade into coming up with sustainable solutions into making our mental health a little bit better.
And next, how did you get involved with Access Sacramento?
Access Sacramento was the next step as I became a peer support specialist, and that was somewhat of rigorous training. And from that point, it was brought to our attention that we can learn how to film and we can learn how to do the studio work and the lighting and possibly even learn how to be a DJ on Access's radio station. And so I volunteered my time again to say, you know what, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to learn how to be a director and a producer. And so, yeah, I love Access. It was a great experience and I'm thankful to be here.
Can you please tell our audience how have you been affected by COVID-19?
That's where it just gets really troublesome. There's too many things to talk about. The first thing that comes into my mind that is in my family's mind and friends' mind is that the world is under a disease. And when we say that, it's somewhat like we don't want to talk about mental health. We just want to tune in on what's happening and try to make it the best that we can make it. But being under a disease and having so much death and having so much uncertainty with the people that have to deal with their loved one not being around, that is a trigger point. That is where we don't really want to look into how COVID-19 has impacted my life. It's impacted our life and it's not getting better. And that's to have the world come back. And a lot of us really want to think that the world's going to come back to the way that it was. In reality, that's not going to happen. So how has COVID-19 affected me is that it's a brand new day every day. Since the pandemic started, I cannot do anything but think of today and how we're going to make tomorrow better. So it has helped a great deal to build inner strength and inner courage and a motivation to put things into a better tomorrow. I hope that makes sense.
In lieu of COVID-19, what are some of the things you've been working on?
And the things that I have personally been working on, I've been volunteering my time and my efforts and my heart into going to the schools and going to meet with our school boards and our superintendents and really talking to them and having some outcomes. And the one thing that we're really pushing and we're really proud of is it's called my 2020 COVID-19 time capsule. I did send a copy over to you, and I have a hard copy here. And it sounds really difficult as a time capsule, but what the schools have implemented in our area in Roseville, we've got 7 different schools in our district, and each one of our schools implemented what's called a wellness center. And that wellness center, and that's something that we're really proud to talk about. And that during COVID, and that what we've really been serious about is our students' health and our student safety. In these wellness centers, we have licensed counselors and psychiatrists at times to handle, or not handle, but to discuss, and not to discuss, but to listen to what's going on in our children's lives, our kids' lives, our youth's lives. So one thing that we put together is this into each one of our wellness centers. And to tell you a little bit about the COVID-19 time capsule, is this was at Staples office furniture and copies, the Staples store that we have. They had it on the counter, and I had asked if I could take one of these, and she said, take two. And I said, thank you. And we took one of these to our superintendent and said, can we issue, or can we implement this in our schools? And absolutely, do it, have fun. And so that's something, Caitlin, that is just really, really passionate. It just really, really is. One of the best things about this is that you open it up, and then the students and the family, or yourself or whoever, I would love to do this with anyone. Shouldn't be talking like that, but it's all about me. You can put down your favorite toy, your favorite place, your favorite song, your favorite show, your favorite movie. And one of the most important parts about this is that you can identify your goals, and you can talk about your best friends. And but it's just it's a really great tool to have. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to talking more about that, and learning more about that, and sharing stories about that, what's worked, what's not worked, and making that somewhat of a theme, a trend. And the way really we look at it is, the more that we know ourselves, the more we can get to know other people. And with the coronavirus, the pandemic that we're in right now, we need it. We need each other. We need to talk to each other. And this is just a really good way to open up the conversation. So near and dear to a lot of hearts, and I'm looking forward to, hopefully we're looking forward to bringing this out in the forefront and making this a common topic. It's just so touching. Some other things that we're working on is implementing a new drug education into our schools. What we have recently is a drug that's called fentanyl. Fentanyl is a poison, and it is being detected in 98% of the drugs that have been confiscated in Sac County today is laced with fentanyl. Fentanyl is a grain of sand. The size of a grain of sand will kill anyone. And that's being laced in all of our drugs. 98% of the drugs have fentanyl in it. So what we're working on, that's just one of the things that's really taking place with our youth and older adults, is that the drug use has really gone up. And so one way to rectify that is just to get more common knowledge in regards to what's out there, what's taking place, and how's it going to affect us in the long run. This organization, Song for Charlie, is a family-run nonprofit organization. And so what we're doing now is just had a conversation with the board members in our school district, and it was wonderful response. They are going to have a conversation, and this is all knowledge that can be put in our middle schools and our high schools, and to bring home to the families of, what to look for and what type of new drugs are out there. So that's one thing that we've been working on over since, the last almost 2 years now, and it's coming to fruition. That we've got the kids and the families and the teachers and the staff looking at themselves and looking at ways to improve, which is very, very important for all of us. And the Song for Charlie is a nonprofit organization that says, hey, we want to get into your schools. We want to share our story. We want to let you know that our kid died. We weren't expecting that. These are courageous parents. They're stepping up and wanting to share knowledge and spread awareness about the dangers of fentanyl and just ways to improve.
At this time, is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience?
It's hard to smile and think about me smiling right now. It's just my passion and my level of excitement is something that I couldn't explain. I can't explain it. It's just near and dear to my heart, and especially when we've got ways to improve each other, and to realize that we're under a disease right now, and it's so hard to say, and it's not something that anyone wants to hear. I don't want to hear it. I just heard today that there's a new strain that they detected in Africa and Hong Kong, 104. Yeah. So now our stock market went kapoosh. Our flying in the US, and there's a couple other nations that now are flying's being restricted. I don't know. It's not fake news. I mean, maybe it is, but this is something that has been real. It's so if you got a new strain, there's already 30 strains out there of this disease. And so, yeah, it's just a really, really important time for us to come together and be family and share our story, not just share our story, but share our knowledge to where we can hopefully inspire someone to get better and inspire somebody to have a better time. This pandemic is new, and it's not real, but it is. And it's just very, very, very scary.
It is definitely a scary time right now, but that is wonderful that you're raising awareness in regards to, the pills, and the time capsule and the things you're working on, to kind of get the word out there. There is resources for kids at this time. If anybody would like to find out more information about you or Charlie's song, where can they go?
Please go to www.songforcharlie.org and take a look and share your thoughts, and we'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Great. Well, I want to thank you for joining us today and telling your story. It's been great meeting you.
I used to think news is news. It's all the same, but it's not. There's a big difference between local broadcast news and cable news. See, local stations are part of my community, connecting me to local news, weather, and sports on every device. It makes sense. Get the news from the people I trust who actually live here. No agenda, no bias like on cable shout shows or social media, just facts. For news I can trust, I stay local. Support your local stations. Text TV to 52886 today.
Hello and welcome to the Casual Shelf Kitchen, specialty hot dogs. What's really special about this is it's not necessarily the hot dogs or the buns, it's how I create one ingredient, and that would happen to be the sauerkraut. As you can see, I'm peeling the onion, and today I'm using a Japanese vegetable cleaver. My first time ever using one. Just like that. Got a chopped onion. Get this in a bowl. So what I'm going to be doing is preparing the sauerkraut. 14-inch non-stick pan from Chef Toys. Some extra virgin olive oil. Let that heat up. Kosher salt. Helps dry out the onion. Fresh ground black pepper. going to use some charred garlic tonight. It's supposed to be an easy, casual meal. It's hot dogs. We'll get some special topping. Everything, or most everything is good with a little bit of garlic. I hope some of you have been to the Gilroy Garlic Festival. I haven't been, but hopefully varies in the next few years that Rob and I will go. Mexican sweet basil. Like I said, I just kind of throwing this together. Mexican oregano. Just line that right in my hand. My hands smell good until I wash them. Thyme. This is thyme. And some tarragon. Yummy. So the goal here with the sauerkraut is to make it less sour. And we'll do that by cooking down some of the pickle juice with the onion and the garlic. And then what's really going to draw it out is using some brown sugar, not a lot. To help mellow that sour flavor. I really got turned on to a cooked or sauteed sauerkraut from Sierra Nevada Brewery at their tap room. They do a beautiful, beautiful sauerkraut. Being Polish, you would think I would love sauerkraut, but I really didn't grow up on it. My mom's not Polish, so she didn't, we had Polish kielbasa and potatoes, but not a lot of Polish dishes. Okay, now that these onions are ready, I've got some strained sauerkraut. Brown up a little bit. Only if we had smell-o-vision. Now I'm going to add, I think, about that much brown sugar. Maybe it's a little more, just add more touch. Stir-fried sauerkraut. Voila. And that's it from the Casual Chef Kitchen. Good night, folks.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere. Just a city boy, born and raised in South Detroit. He took the midnight train going